This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Homestand continues with game number 2 of this weekend series. The San Diego Padres and the St. Louis Cardinals. And welcome to the broadcast booth here at Busch Stadium as we celebrate the 2011 Championship Club with Rick Horton and Jim Hayes. I'm Dan McLaughlin. But let's talk about 2021, Ricky. And right now the Cardinals are riding a 6-game winning streak and doing a lot of things right. Pitching, defense, hitting, all of it's coming together.
You bet, Dan. We're celebrating that as well. The Cardinals have really gotten things going, and it begins with starting pitching. If the starting pitching isn't right, it's really hard to put together a win streak. I love the infusion of the veteran left-handers. Miles Michaelis, very good in his last outing. But what Happ and Lester have done, I think, is solidify a rotation. It's more than just Adam Wainwright now. And the bullpen continues to shine, and it's also gotten deeper during the 6-game winning streak. 1.88 ERA, and you're getting production from several guys. Gallegos at the end, but 6 guys really that Mike Schilt can count on.
Ricky, timely hitting and scoring late and scoring a lot of these runs via the home run.
Even games where the Cardinals don't get a lot of hits, they do a lot of damage. And that damage may come from O'Neill in the middle of the lineup. It might be Bader at the bottom, but they're getting big hits, runners in scoring position. Production has increased, and I just love what the Cardinals are doing with the long ball.
Dylan Carlson drove in 5 last night and a lot of fun. Having fun here tonight. 10-year reunion of the 2011 St. Louis Cardinals. A look at the 21 Birds coming up on Bally Sports. Adam Wainwright, since the beginning of June, has been one of the best pitchers in baseball.
He has reemerged as the Cardinals' ace. A average start in April and May, but the numbers since June. 15-4, Dan, with a 2.27 ERA.
It's Wainwright, it's Darvish, it's the Padres, it's the Cardinals. And the Redbirds trying to win 7 straight. It's been a lot of fun as we head down the stretch here in September. Baseball comes your way next. Series, and you can feel it. It's like playoff baseball right now. O'Neill cranks it out to deep left. Oh my! Out to deep right. Gone! 4-0 Redbirds. And Carlson out to deep center. It's at the wall. Grand slammer! Oh, what a moment here at Busch. Trying for 7 straight wins for the first time since 8 straight wins in August of all the way back in 2018. The Cardinals and Padres tonight. A warm, muggy night here in the Gateway City of 88 degrees. And it's game number 2, the San Diego Padres and the St. Louis Cardinals. Tony Simikaitis and Craig Wilson, Matt Shedd, Joe Pfeiffer, Kyle Dingus. All those behind the scenes that put together the reunion of the 2011 club just did a fantastic, amazing job. That was emotional, man.
It could not have been any better as the Cardinals take the field with a lot to play for today, but they have a lot to look back on and create a lot of smiles. And I've got to tell you, I must have had something in my eye during the ceremony. I'm not sure what it was, but I know my eyes got watery when I looked at the players coming in on the truck stand, and then the video, the fan video that happened after those historic games in October of 2011. I'm telling you, it was a terrific ceremony and a big crowd here today, and Adam Wainwright, the right guy to be pitching.
So Waino is on the mound tonight, part of that 06 reunion, the 11 reunion. The problem is he's still in uniform.
But he was able to stop by and get in the team photo. That's one of my top 3 moments of the ceremony. So many great moments. And, of course, Wainwright has provided a lot of great moments with his stuff. Here's the Hyundai pitch arsenal for Wainwright. Still throws just a tad below 90 miles an hour. The curveball, obviously the big pitch for Wainwright. He's going to use it a lot, 34% of the time. He's not shy about it. He's not ashamed of it, and he's going to throw it at any count.
It is game number 303. Starts together Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright. Emotions are high right now. There is a buzz and an energy here at the ballpark that we haven't seen in a long time.
100% agree. I had to think, Dan, with the pregame ceremony as it was, what is in the hearts and the minds of the Cardinals players currently as they watch that? And I also wonder what the Padres players thought about it. Certainly Skip Schumacher got as big a round of applause, Dan, as anybody, and that was so Cardinals Nation to do that.
Padres, number 23.
Fernando Tatis Jr. at the top, and then Jake Cronenworth. He's at first. Manny Machado at third. Adam Frazier will bat cleanup for Jace Tingler's club. Tommy Pham, Will Myers, Trent Grisham, Victor Caratini, the former Cub, and Yu Darvish is on the mound and batting ninth for San Diego. Fernando Tatis Jr. in the leadoff spot for the Padres, sitting on 39 home runs, and he's driven in 91 this year. The first pitch to him is taken just a bit high. Wainwright has pitched through the 6th inning in each of his last 12 starts. He's been outstanding. Outfield deep, they are straight away. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. I would think too it's about harnessing some of those emotions and that energy for the guy on the mound and the guy behind the plate too.
Well, that's going to be a part of my key to the game today, and I know you are waiting with bated breath, Dan, to find out what that might be.
You know I am. Let's do it right now. The Toyota key to the game.
Well, I think the key here today is to celebrate history as we've already done, and Wainwright and Molina certainly a part of that, but go out and create some more. I mean, those great moments, you know, we lived through those. We watched them, Dan, and fans watched them, and then you have something to celebrate 10 years later. Well, let's create some more memories and more September and hopefully October memories for Cardinals fans.
2-2 the count on Fernando Tatis Jr. And with 2 strikes now, a shift on the left side of the infield. Tommy Edman moving just about behind the bag at second. The 2-2. And a fly ball into right. And there's Dylan Carlson for the catch and the out. The defense behind Waino tonight. O'Neill, Bader, Carlson in the outfield. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Arenado, Sosa, Edman, and Goldie on the infield. Yadier Molina is behind the plate. So started 2-0, comes back to get him, and now Jake Cronenworth. Talked about it last night, Ricky, his versatility of playing second, can play short, a little bit of the outfield, and tonight he's at first base.
Got good power too, 20 big flies, and they have him in the second spot against Wainwright. A lot of teams will load up on left-handed batters. The Padres have 4 of them in the lineup tonight, and the idea is to try to neutralize the Wainwright curveball. It doesn't always work.
It looked like our home plate umpire Phil Cuzzy wanted to call strike 2 and did not, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Diving stop, Tommy Edman. He robs Cronenworth. What a play to his left. Tommy Edman.
Oh man, Cardinals defense has been spectacular the last, well, all year it's been spectacular, but especially the last 10 days, and Tommy Edman's been a part of that. He's made some unbelievable plays up the middle. This time it's going to his left. He lays out, throws out Cronenworth. And if you had to say, Danny, what's been the big part of this winning streak? Is it pitching? Is it relief pitching? Is it timely hitting? Is it defense? You can make a case for all 4 of those answers being right, and that's what a good team does.
I'll throw another one in there too. Pretty good base running too.
That's right.
Now Manny Machado, the third baseman of the Padres, and takes a ball low and away. He's 2 for 13 lifetime against Wainwright.
I was going to add pretty good play-by-play on the TV side too, Dan, with your Grand Slammer. I think that was a key to the game yesterday.
Oh, of course it was. I did a lot for that. And I appreciate it.
Well, you made my day.
Thank you to Dylan Carlson. Home run on both sides of the plate. There's a late break on that curveball there from Adam Wainwright to even it up. Nothing like it. September baseball, so much fun. Taken high. And it's 2-1.
I'm assuming I'm not the only one that had chills during that ceremony.
I had that same thing in my eye that you had. I won't admit to it, though.
Allergies,
yeah,
maybe?
I think so. Boy, did that bring back some memories.
It sure did. The people, the moments, the videos, well orchestrated. I do think my favorite part was when Wainwright, who was going out to do his warm-up tosses, stopped on his way to the bullpen, ran over to get in the photo. I mean, he's going to work. But he had time for his teammates.
The 2-2. You can see Waino is amped up tonight. Even Yachty a couple of times has kind of put his hands down as if to say, hey, back it off, calm down. But he's ready to roll tonight. And a 3-2 pitch now to Manny Machado. And a base hit into left.
Well, he wouldn't dare be anything less than intense with Chris Carpenter in the ballpark, would he?
I also noticed when Waino started to walk away to go to the bullpen mound, Carpenter specifically screamed at him and said, hey, get back here. And Adam obliged.
That leadership hasn't changed.
No, sir. Pretty amazing. You go back to when Carpenter got here and how it still remains today. His fingerprints on what is happening here, whether it was in his role for a short time with the Cardinals or the teacher to Wainwright, who's now teaching Jack Flaherty and the others. It's been neat to see.
Imprints on the Cardinal players and coaches, but also imprints on the fan base. I mean, they're just part of our understanding of what Cardinals baseball is.
Back to Waino. They'll underhand to first. The Padres strand a runner, and the Cardinals coming up in the home half of the first. No score on this Saturday night in St. Louis. Valley Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. The World Series and NLCS MVP David Freese, along with Chris Carpenter, throwing out a ceremonial first pitch, and a beautiful night here at Busch Stadium. Nice crowd. Expecting close to 40,000 here tonight. Edman, Goldie, O'Neill, Arenado, Molina, Carlson, Sosa, Bader, and Waino against Yu Darvish, who was fabulous a season ago with the Cubs.
He was second in the Cy Young Award balloting last year and got off to a good start this year. But in contrast to Adam Wainwright, in his last 11 starts, he's 1-8. In almost all of those games, he's given up more than 4 runs. Still throws hard, has a wide assortment of pitches, a lot of movement, and good control to go along with it.
Tommy Edman now with 40 doubles this year. 265, the 10 homers. He's driven in 48. And a breaking ball in for a strike, 1-1. Darvish in many ways was kind of that first chip to fall from the Cubs of a season ago. Traded in the offseason to the Padres. And who would have thought then it would be Baez and Rizzo and Bryant and the others. Thought one of them might stay, and none of them did.
There were whispers about that happening, but it was almost hard to believe when it started happening. And kind of once it started happening, you might as well go all the way. I think that's what the Cubs decided to do. But Darvish certainly has had some big-time years in the big leagues. He's a 35-year-old, so maybe the wear and tear of the long season on him a bit, but he has not been good lately.
And the 1-2 is a fly ball into shallow left. Tommy Pham is there for the first out. Now it's time for our Kia player profile, brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Last 4 games, couple of home runs, and a .471 average for Paul Goldschmidt. He got hot and hasn't stopped.
Always been a good hitter in the summer, and he was probably the first Cardinal to get hot, and he just kind of waited for everybody else to join in.
Agreed. And the first pitch to Goldie. Fastball and a strike. Yu Darvish was with the Dodgers in postseason play, then joined the Cubs in 18. Took a lot of heat for that appearance in the World Series where he struggled and got it back going in the second year in Chicago, and Cubs thinking maybe they sold high. Fastball again off the plate. Nope, it is on the board as a strike, and now taken back, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's the second time that Phil Cuzzi has had that arm ready to go up and call a strike. Foul back, 1-2. 8 for 25 against Yu Darvish. Remember when the Cardinals had that 4-game sweep at Wrigley? It was Goldschmidt with the key hit in Game 4 at Wrigley late against Darvish. They let him try to go the distance, and the Cardinals came back, won that game. They took Game 3 in dramatic fashion with the back-to-back home runs. And it had been St. Louis and Chicago back-to-back in the division, and that's off the plate. So 1-8, as Ricky mentioned, 11 starts since July. Not going very deep into games, the high ERA.
And a lot of big flies allowed.
The 2-2 in the air, right field, on the track, and the catch is made down into the corner by Will Myers. Padres defensively around the horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Pham, Grisham, Myers in the outfield. Machado, Tatis, Frazier, Cronenworth on the infield, and Victor Caratini is behind the plate.
When a pitcher struggles like Darvish has over that kind of a period of time, but his stuff is not diminished, still has the same kind of velocity, typically that just means he's making more mistakes than usual. Hanging sliders, fastball middle of the plate. The Cardinals have been capitalizing on those kind of pitches lately.
One of the hottest bats in the lineup is at the plate. Tyler O'Neill, 6 home runs in his last 14 games and has driven in 13 runs in those 14. The 0-1 pitch. Chopped towards short, taken there by Tatis, and he unloads over to first. Cardinals go in order. Pham, Myers, Grisham coming up. Champion Cardinals, and where do we find Jim Hayes?
Yeah, I'm with Jason, Mott, and Nick Punto. I'm going to start with you, Jason. 10 years since you had those fists raised in the air after coaxing a fly ball to Alan Craig. Does it seem like it was that long ago?
No, I mean, time flies, but it's great to be back, great to be with these guys, and it's great to see you, Jim.
That's kind of been a theme since I've been interviewing you guys. To go around in the pickup trucks, to be part of the celebration, see everyone. What's it been like for you, Nick?
It's been incredible. It's everything I thought it was going to be honest. The fans were so supportive through that season, and we played very average for a long time, and for them just to stay with us all season long, and then us to pull off that miraculous World Series victory was incredible, and be out there and come around on those pickup trucks, and it was actually pretty emotional.
You were a guy who had, I think, in 2011, 388 on base percentage, played in some key games for the Cardinals, but they remember you for the shredder. As a civilian, are you still ripping people's shirts? And I am tempting fate by asking that. Do you still do that, or have you given that up?
Did you bring an extra shirt?
I did not, actually.
You did not. Okay, so you're safe tonight.
But you don't do that as a civilian, do you?
As a civilian, it hasn't happened yet. My son actually is playing some baseball now, and he thinks he's allowed to do it when we get walk-off hits. I'm like, no, buddy, that's not how it works.
Yes, do it. That's good for the game.
He's just carrying on a family tradition. That's all he's doing, you know.
Now, for you, I don't know if folks remember, but you were closing out World Series games, including Game 7, but you were relatively new to closing. You took over late in the season. What was that like for you going through that and seeing it all the way to the end and raising your fist in triumph?
Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing. It was crazy. Like I said, one day they were like, hey, you're going out to close the game. I was like, all right, sweet. I just went out there and, I kept my same mindset, and I was go out there, get guys out before they score runs, and luckily I was able to do that more times than not, and, we came out on top.
This was a team that was really close. Now, you could see because pretty much everyone from that team came back. What was it about that ball club?
Just an unbelievable culture. Like we talk about culture all the time. That was the best group I've ever been with, and I think it starts from the top, them putting it together, Mo, and having Tony La Russa in his final season. Not that he told us, but he was in his final season, so he was just a real happy Tony and still had the edge to him. So I always felt like we were winning the chess match in every game. But from top to bottom, the kids, all these babies that became unbelievable baseball players, Alan Craig, Jason Mott, right? Like the whole Memphis Mafia, that was like, for me, I talk about them all the time. Without those young guys coming up ready to play baseball, and that you got to put that on Mosaic plate.
I got to say, it's great seeing you guys have fun. And Mott, if you don't mind, can you send it back to Danny Mac for me?
Back to you, Daniel.
Well, thank you, Jason. Had a chance to visit with Jason Mott a bunch last couple of years, and those guys have been great with the town halls that we had during COVID for fans. A lot of fun to have those guys back in town. That final out, image, memory, we'll never forget it. Tonight we celebrate the 2011 World Champion Cardinals. Here in St. Louis, the T-Mobile coverage cam. We've already seen two dazzling plays made by Tommy Edman, one to his left diving, and that was robbing Jay Cronenworth, and then in that inning on a shift up the middle, a backhanded play, sliding, popped up and threw out Will Myers.
Made the comment during the offseason that if you gave me 8 Tommy Edmans and you took 8 of somebody else, I'd beat you, because he's a player. And imagine 40 doubles at every position, a guy that can make plays as he makes them, run the bases the way he does. He's really he's a baseball player is what he is.
There's a ball to Nolan Arenado, 5 for 13, couple of home runs against you, Darvish. The Dodgers have posted a win already against Cincinnati, 5-1. And Max Scherzer picked up the win in that game. He's now 15-4. Arenado gets underneath it, popped up left side. Machado is there. Ricky, since Max Scherzer joined the Dodgers, 9 starts with LA, a .78 ERA in 58 innings, 79 strikeouts. He's been remarkable.
Well, he's on the fast track to the Cy Young, and I don't think there's any doubt about that. Hall of Fame as well, I should add. But he has been a great signing for them, and of course you're rooting for him when he pitches against Cincinnati too. And the Cardinals now a game and a half ahead of Cincinnati, a game and a half ahead of San Diego coming into this game here tonight.
And a strike to Yadier Molina. News got a little tougher for the Reds. Jesse Winker was hit by a pitch last night. May have re-injured the abdominal situation he's been dealing with. Tyler Naquin was hurt here in St. Louis with the rib injury. He has been out. Nick Senzel has been out, so they're banged up going down the stretch.
Well, I think they've missed T.J. Antone in their bullpen
for sure.
He was really developing into a great late inning guy, and they've had a couple of guys that have picked up the slack, but others haven't. And every team has their strengths and weaknesses, but injuries, you don't want injuries to the wrong guy, and I think Winker's the wrong guy for them.
Nothing in 2 on Yadier Molina. Dodgers are trying to match the 27 Yankees. Now, we always talk about their lineup. Oh, what are you facing, the 27 Yankees?
Right.
Well, they also had the top 3 in winning percentage in the league that year, and the Dodgers are trying to get that with their club. Urias, Scherzer, and Buehler. That's incredible. A strikeout of Yadier Molina in the first of the night for Darvish. Dylan Carlson, a pair of home runs in Game 1 last night, and he did it, Ricky, from both sides of the plate.
Well, that's unusual to be able to get that done. And both of them are smoked. The left-handed version, more of a line drive into the Cardinals bullpen, but then the homer to center field just absolutely carried. And that was a great moment here last night. The fans asked and received a curtain call.
Love seeing how his teammates react to that. Almost begrudgingly, to an extent, of going out there as a rookie and doing that, and his teammates said, no, go do it.
I think the most uncomfortable one that I can remember the current Cardinals was the first time Paul Goldschmidt was encouraged to have a curtain call so against his nature. He almost gets a home run and doesn't want anybody to know about it.
That's right.
Just wants to go sit in the corner. But not that he's not a fiery player. He just comes out in different ways.
Way out in front, 0-2. When the Cardinals won the 2011 World Series, Dylan Carlson was 13. Year before, he started playing for his dad at Elk Grove High School as a freshman. Learned to switch hit as a 6-year-old. Just started hitting balls off a tee from this side of the plate. Dad didn't mess with him, just said, hey, keep swinging it. The 0-2. And Dylan pops it up. Left side. That'll be Tatis. And a good start for Darvish. 6 up, 6 down. He dedicated his life to helping others. Major League Baseball annually honors the player who best exemplifies Clemente's spirit. Paul Goldschmidt, the Cardinals' 2021 Clemente nominee for his charitable work in the St. Louis community and beyond. Visit MLB.com/Clemente21 to vote for Goldie. So the third inning rolls in. Caratini, Darvish, and Tatis. We are scoreless here in Game 2. Wainwright enjoyed a 1-2-3. Top of the second. And the first pitch taken for his strike.
And he enjoyed the defense of Tommy Edman again, as you mentioned. Not only the great play to his left early, but that out number 2 in the inning. Spectacular play.
0-1 pitch. Now 0-2 as he breaks off another curveball. I wonder how many times we've said that with a Waino start over the years.
About as many times as I've said blocked by Molina.
No kidding.
I say that a lot too.
Inside.
My favorite thing about the evolution of Adam Wainwright as a pitcher is how he has learned to, even at a deeper level, change speeds in his delivery. Not just with pitches, but whether he goes over the head, stays low, hesitates, and he has the uncanny ability to have the man at the plate just a little bit out in front, because he's a little slower perhaps with his delivery. Hitting's all about timing, as we know, and Adam just invents ways to throw off your time.
And the 1-2 pitch rolled up the first base line. Fair. Goldie has it and out. See, tags out Caratini. Boy, initially I thought maybe that hit off the foot of Caratini. It's one of those balls that maybe hit foul and then came back fair and stayed fair.
Well, it just kind of deadened there at the plate, and I agree with you, but he didn't stop. He just kept running, and can I say again, that's your Gold Glove first baseman in the National League?
I would agree with you. I'm a little surprised Caratini didn't try to avoid a tag there or go inside the line, but he didn't, and that's the first out. 5 in a row set down by Adam Wainwright. And now Yu Darvish. By the way, Waino a chance to make a little history here tonight. A significant number, 3 strikeouts shy of 2,000 for his career.
I don't think he sets out to strike out guys like other pitchers might, but he can certainly get them.
So 1 out and nobody on, 2 balls and 1 strike on Yu Darvish. Two and 2. Well, we have a moment. Young man that you had the chance to meet in Pittsburgh, and I did as well. Family from St. Louis, and they try to follow the Cardinals and make a trip when they can. Right now he's at Children's Hospital and going through a lot. And Chris Lind, I'm thinking of you, and Ricky is as well. Enjoy the ball game tonight as Yu Darvish picks up a base hit to left, but Chris Lind, we're thinking of you tonight at Children's. Get you back to the ballpark as quickly as possible. There's one of those hangers, and Darvish took advantage of it.
He had him set up for this. I thought the curveball would be next, but that one spun a little bit. It was about belt high. Had some break to it, but not the right location. Better to make that mistake with Darvish than to Tatis or Machado.
Absolutely. Really thought a key in the Mets series was, for the most part, they kept Alonso in the ballpark. Now, he had 1 home run. He was robbed by Nootbaar, but he had 1 hit in the 3 games. Tatis last night kept in check. Machado, for the most part. You know, you have those big guys you circle on that lineup, can hold them down. You got a chance. One ball and 1 strike.
And when you have guys like that in the lineup, I heard a Cardinal player talking about it with Cincinnati. They made the comment that it seems as if Joey Votto bats 10 times a game.
Yes.
And it really does feel that way, because you realize they're up there again with a chance to do damage.
And Tatis hits a high fly ball out to right field. Stays in the ballpark. Catch made by Carlson. Darvish back to the bag at first.
We weren't sure how far that.
Yeah,
we weren't sure how far that was going to go, but Tatis, I think, knew right away. He squared it up, but underneath it just a little bit. And I think I know what he said. Sometimes it helps to be a little bilingual.
And also on a broadcast, just to keep it to yourself.
That's right. Thank you for the warning.
No problem. We're live, Ricky.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thanks. Forgot. I was happy to see Alan Craig here at the ballpark. I just think about how many good years he had as a Cardinal, and when you think about hitting with runners in scoring position, who do you think about?
He's the guy.
He was the king of that, and that's what the Cardinals have been doing well lately, and that's what we're hoping for as this game goes along. They continue to do what they did in New York, and that's how you get a lot of runs with just a few hits. Put them together, take advantage of opportunities.
Tatis and Machado last night went 1 for 8. Cronenworth pops it up and caught by Nolan Arenado. Sosa, Bader, Waino coming up, and there's no score. $1 any size frozen beverage every game day, valid April 1st through October 3rd on every Cardinals home or away game. Well, this will be the final few weeks for Mike Shannon behind the mic. And to honor him, Cardinals host the Cubs on October 3rd. 20,000 fans ages 16 and older take home a unique T-shirt celebrating Shannon's 50 years in the broadcast booth, courtesy of Phillips 66. For tickets, visit cardinals.com/promotions.
You and I have so many great memories of Mike over the years, whether it's playing golf with him or going out to dinner with him, and just thinking about how much fun. I mean, that's when I think of Mike Shannon, I think of fun. I mean, never a dull moment around him. Great storyteller, and seen a lot in this game, been a part of a lot in this game.
Let's see, you mentioned dinners.
Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned golf.
Right.
There's a lot of that. You didn't mention the track.
Well, I haven't been there with him, but I can only imagine.
Oh, you should. It lived up to it many times.
Actually, I take that back. I used to do the day at the races to benefit CBC High School, and I was there with him one time. Oh yeah, no doubt. He puts an exclamation point after the word fun.
I don't know if you knew this. There were some late nights too.
Well, are you adding a fourth? Dan, this is live TV.
The best, Mike Shannon. And you're right, made it so much fun for us over the years. Here's Edmundo Sosa. And the 1-1 pitch to Sosa. Breaking ball and a backhanded play by Machado to get Sosa. Cronenworth apparently stayed on the bag.
I don't know about that. I thought he came off for a second and then put it back down again, but it doesn't look as if the Cardinals are questioning it at all. What is he doing with that foot? Now he's on there. Well, yeah, barely. That's what I saw. Machado is such a cannon. Play on.
There's Harrison Bader. Good start now for Yu Darvish. 7 up, 7 down.
Well, it's exactly what you don't want to have against Darvish. He's at that point of the season, Dan, where if you could get something going early against him, and the Cardinals haven't yet, he can start to develop that here we go again thought in his head. But if he starts to mow you down, gets through 4 or 5, then it's like, okay, I'm on to something else now. But you want to create some doubt in his mind.
The Cardinals jumped out on Velasquez early last night, then went quiet. Had just a couple of hits from about the 3rd inning on, and then the 7th and the 8th. And all of a sudden, that 8th inning, ball game was just about over as the Cardinals exploded offensively. 0-1 pitch. To the count with Adam Wainwright on deck. The 0-2. Fastball struck him out. Second strikeout for Darvish.
Looks as if he didn't actually hit the outside corner. Well framed by Caratini. Maybe too close to take. But Darvish looks as if his command is good. Not just throwing strikes, but throwing the ball where he wants to.
Adam Wainwright with 2 outs and nobody on. First time through a lineup, Darvish, very tough, 169. Second time through, average jumps up against him about 100 points.
I've noticed that Waino's career average went up a point too. He's been swinging the bat better the last 6 or 7 starts, and his desire is to hit 200 for a career. Well, it looks like he's going to play longer. The question is, will pitchers still hit?
And the answer will be no. I firmly believe that. I think you've got the DH coming, and that is without a doubt. Some will like it, some will not.
Which I guess you could say about the 3-batter minimum, the runner at second base in extra innings.
At this point, Ricky, I don't care how you do it. Get a deal done.
Oh, yeah.
And let's have a normal offseason and enjoy spring training next year.
And I firmly believe that with all the variables out there and all of the need for baseball to get going in a positive direction post-pandemic, I think it will happen.
I'm with you. I lean that way, too.
I'm confident.
There's a 1-2 pitch by Darvish. Big gap into left center. Backs up and a strikeout of Waino. 3 tonight for you, Darvish. 9 up, 9 down. We're scoreless. Just become Freeze's Landing in 2022. And the first venue named after a player. And there'll be so much around that, and it's because of this one swing and where the ball landed. Freeze's Landing. How cool is that to be a hometown guy, have that moment, that game, that run, and now your own landing here at Busch Stadium. Pretty cool and well deserved. Celebrating the 2011 World Champion St. Louis Cardinals. Hard to believe, 10-year anniversary tonight.
I'm sure it feels like yesterday to some of the guys, but it seems as if it was eons ago as well. And just so happy, as we mentioned earlier, for them to get a chance to connect here at the ballpark and to be at the venue, not just in St. Louis or at some card show somewhere, but they're here at the ballpark together, and I'm sure the stories are abounding. And it's not just about kind of what happened on the field. It's again very relational. And I'd say one thing, I actually chatted with David Freese about it after he hit the home run in 2011, and one of the things that I asked him about during that winter was, have you felt it yet? And he said, no, I haven't. And that is a truth about going to the World Series. You're so focused on doing it, you don't always uncover all the emotions you're feeling until after the fact. Sometimes it hits you months later. And maybe 10 years later, there's some emotions that are coming out tonight for those guys.
It was Berkman there on the right, then Holiday in the middle. David Freese to the left behind them. Chris Carpenter always will be linked to that championship run. Just past Nolan Arenado, and a base hit for Machado. Similar pitch to what he singled on back in the first, and he has 2 of the 3 hits for the Padres. In 2016, it was the anniversary of the 06 team. Adam Wainwright was on the mound, his former teammates in a suite, and what does he do? He goes the distance. He asked Mike Matheny, he said, give me 10 more pitches. Let me try to do it. Tony wants me to do it, and he did. And then
so much
those
meaning.
2 pointed, remember, to the suite.
Oh, yeah, exactly. What a great moment that was. Waino has the ability to rise to the occasion. We've seen him do that several times. And, of course, in 06, he really did.
Ended the 06 World Series with a strikeout of Brandon Enge. But yet it's the curveball to Beltran that is most talked about and probably most seen from that postseason run.
Throwing that last pitch in a World Series. How few players ever get that thrill, and how many dream of that moment. Bob Gibson, Bruce Sutter, Adam Wainwright, Jason Mott here at the ballpark today. They share something that I don't think the rest of us can even comprehend.
Can you imagine, too, the path that Jason Mott took to that? I mean, being a catcher that couldn't hit in the minor leagues, and told by Derek Lilliquist, of all people, as a pitching coach on that team, and there's a base hit into right. The Cardinals were moving him to the bullpen because of his arm, and he winds up being the guy to get the final out of the season. Fernando Salas, by the way, unheralded of that team, led the team in saves. Back-to-back singles to begin this fourth inning for San Diego. Here's Tommy Pham, runners at the corners and nobody out for the Padres. There's strike one. Pham grounded to short first time up.
It took Tommy Pham a while to get to the big leagues, but a longtime Cardinal minor leaguer who was connected with a lot of the Memphis Mafia guys, the Descalzos, the John Jays, and I'm sure the celebration a little bittersweet for him, perhaps.
It's a really good point. Hadn't thought of that. He had been in the minor leagues for so long. And remember, began as an infielder and then moved to the outfield. Tommy Pham
had eye issues that he still, deals with, has dealt with off and on, vision issues. But he did not give up. He is one tenacious player.
Infield is in, a step or two in the 1-1. Yeah, Pham and Mike Schilt have a common bond. In addition to being guys that spent a lot of time in the minor leagues together, but they both suffer from a rare eye disease, keratoconus. Mike has had that, cut his career short, and Tommy Pham still going in the big leagues. And that truly is amazing. 3-1 the count. Back-to-back singles, Machado and Frazier. 3-1, drops in for his strike, 3-2. The ability to throw that pitch behind in the count.
Well, he's back in this at bat now against Pham. Adam does not have a strikeout yet in this game. This would be a good time for one, but I think he'd take the double play too.
Does he go back to it? 3-2 pitch, and Pham lifts a fly ball down the right field line and out of play.
Dan, you bring up vision and cutting Mike Schilt's playing days short, and Tommy Pham having to deal with it. As a player gets older, we all understand this. You get older, a lot of things go, but vision's one of them. And so you start to say, well, player's older. He's not the player he used to be. Let's check his reflexes. First thing I'd say is check his eyesight.
Yes.
Honestly, eyesight is such a important part of competing at the big league level.
Crowd comes alive, a 3-2. Pham base hit into center, 1-0 San Diego. 3 consecutive hits. Throw by Bader is not cut off. Runners at the corners and 1-0 Padres. Tommy Pham drives in his 44th.
Right fielder.
Well, a rough start to the inning for Wainwright. Base hit, base hit, base hit. Not a bad location there, but Tommy Pham went down to get it. And Padres break the ice here in this game. And right now the strategy has to be how to just minimize the losses. Give up a couple runs in this inning. You can live with that. Don't let the number be higher than that.
There's Will Myers, grounded out back in the second inning, and that was the outstanding play made by Tommy Edman to rob him. Would look to be a sure base hit up the middle. Myers with 17 home runs. He's got some pop. Popped up and a big out. Catch made by Tommy Edman for the first out. 2021 Cardinals yearbook celebrates the anniversaries of the 06 and 11 championship clubs. Read their personal stories and the magical title runs. Pick up a copy at the ballpark. Cardinals.com/yearbook. 314-345-9000. Trent Grisham.
Tough guy to double up. He runs well. Grisham, of course, the guy we've talked about, has the very unique and odd grip of the bat. He has the almost a golf grip.
He's 2 for his last 34. Fly to center. First time up.
Let's look at the hands of Grisham. A little less overlap than he used to be.
Agreed. Also wearing a wedding ring. Well, a lot of players do not do that. But he's got the wedding ring on.
I don't know if everybody's happy about that, but I'm sure one person for sure is.
Oh yeah. Mama.
That's right. And that's a good place to start.
You got it.
With making people happy.
Infield in a step or two. Now 0-2 the count. 3 consecutive singles to begin the inning. Then a pop out by Myers, and now Trent Grisham. And the 0-2. He got him on the inside corner. And the first strikeout for Wainwright. And there's 2 away.
Perfectly placed by Wainwright. Maybe looking breaking ball, but he got the fastball, and the sinker comes back over the inside corner, frozen. I tell you who was good at that pitch. And he's here at the ballpark, Kyle Loesch. Really good at throwing that pitch that came back over the inside corner against left-handers.
Caratini takes a pitch a little bit high. Grounded out to first, and he's 0 for 1. And the 1-0. Beauty in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Caratini 1 for his last 18. Even though the Padres have struck first in this game, this still could be a momentum type inning for Wainwright.
When I said minimize the damage, I was assuming 2 runs, and he's got a chance to make it 1.
Exactly. Runners at first and third, and Already a 1-0 lead. Nobody out. Has gotten the next two. The 1-1 is hit up the middle and a base hit. A run will score, and that'll make it 2-0 San Diego. So Caratini brings in his 34th.
6 singles for the Padres, and a few of them have just found holes, including this one. He hit it with some pace on it, but with Tommy Edman playing him to pull, no chance to get that.
Yu Darvish singled his first time up. Again, runners at the corners for San Diego, and Tatis on deck. The 1-0. Caratini drives in his 34th. Matches his career high with the Cubs back in 2019.
That's a big hit in a lot of ways, and one of the ways is it doesn't have Darvish leading off next inning, which would have not only affected what happened here in one less run, but also would have fed into next inning.
Caratini essentially is the personal catcher of Yu Darvish. And the 1-2 is hit out of play. The 1-2 pitch. Fly ball into right, near the sidewall, and out of play. Well, Darvish is making this tough on Waino.
He sure is. He's having pretty good swings at every pitch that Adam throws, too. He's had the curveball, the fastball, cutter, and doesn't seem to be fooled by any of them. Pitch count a little high this inning for Adam. This will be pitch number 64.
And number 25 of the inning. The 1-2 pitch. Darvish puts it in play. Backhanded by Sosa. Force play at second. And the Padres here in the top of the fourth, they strike first. And it's 2-0 San Diego. Is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals, and by Steel. Find your Steel dealer at steeldealers.com. Skip Schumacher is the assistant manager, bench coach of the San Diego Padres. He'll be a manager before too long. And 10 years ago, he was helping the Cardinals make history. One of the great games in Cardinals history. This would be it. It was Game 5. Chris Carpenter, Roy Halladay, Rafael Furcal in the first inning had a triple. The double for Schumacher, and that was the scoring that night. Carpenter went 9 innings, 3 hits, and outpitched the future Hall of Famer and his great late friend Roy Halladay, who went 8, gave up that run. And you may recall that St. Louis and Ryan Howard blew out his Achilles on the game's final play. That ended the Phillies' run and was symbolic of the end of the Phillies' run and the beginning of a Cardinal run.
And what a tremendous game that was to watch and just enjoy. Certainly the outcome, but Skip obviously had the entire offense in that game, he and Furcal together, but the pitching was king, and they were both just artists. I mean, they were just on fire, both Halladay and Carpenter, and again, their relationship came into play in that, the import of the game and the import of the franchise with the Phillies, as you mentioned. There was a lot going on there.
The reaction of Chris Carpenter in that final out, just screaming.
Primal scream.
It's one of the great reactions and really in Cardinal history. It's something that you remember from that run. You also remember Skip, and he was the one at the plate for the rally squirrel.
That's where I thought we might be going with Skip. I prefer to have him getting a triple, though, in our video that we showed. But he's also part of that video with the up close connection with the squirrel,
which is on the 2011 World Series ring, as well as, and he got a huge ovation here tonight.
Oh, did he ever?
And it was started by Rafael Furcal, but Happy Flight is scripted on the ring as well.
Dotel was part of that too,
yes.
And Dotel also in the ballpark. Those two were the Happy Flight kings. And we still say that.
It's great. Well, Yu Darvish has been outstanding so far tonight. Has not allowed a hit. It's been 9 up, 9 down. Top of the lineup, Tommy Edman, Paul Goldschmidt, and Tyler O'Neill. Edman fly to left his first time up. The 0-1 pitch. Edman, base hit. Playing very deep is Myers and right. Wow.
That was no triples defense there, I think, with Myers and right. I was stunned he was that far back.
I thought it would get down for a hit, but
either way, right.
Couldn't believe how far he was back into right field.
Yeah, not a bad pitch.
It's now an 8-game hitting streak for Tommy Edman. And it brings in Paul Goldschmidt. First Cardinal base hit tonight. First pitch to Goldie. Taken high. Big happy 83rd birthday to Mary Ann Dryden. Never misses a game in South St. Louis on Valley Sports Midwest. So happy birthday, Mary Ann Dryden. Maybe Goldie can deliver a present right here. The 1-0 pitch off the plate, 2 balls and no strikes.
Dan, one other thing you think about when a pitcher gives up a lot of runs in a stretch of time, I mentioned maybe they're hanging a lot of pitches. Another thing to look at from a pitching coach point of view is he struggling out of the stretch? And is that why a lot of hits happen in a row?
That's a really good point.
Is he a different pitcher? I don't think we talk about that enough. The difference between your mechanics, your motion, when you go to the stretch.
We saw in the first couple of pitches, really wasn't on top of it, kind of underneath that breaking ball. Also now the second time through for Darvish against St. Louis, and worth repeating, the average against him jumps up about 100 points.
And the timing you're talking about can sometimes be affected by your desire to be too quick to the plate. Your bottom half gets out in front of your arm, and you get the ball up.
The 2-1. 3-1. Base stealers 14 out of 15 when Darvish is on the mound. And a 3-1 pitch to Paul Goldschmidt. On its way. 3-2. He was 1-5 to the plate. 1-3 kind of the magic number. If you're above that, more times than not, more aggressive to steal. Edman with 6 straight bases stolen without being caught. 25 on the year. Tied for second in the National League with Fernando Tatis. Trey Turner has 30. Goldschmidt fly to deep right field. First time up. 3-2 pitch. Edman is running. And that is a ball that was at least stopped going towards second initially by Yu Darvish.
Yeah, where did that hit him? Did that hit his glove?
I think it hit his wrist on the glove hand. I'm not sure it caught the glove.
Well, Caratini must have gotten a late call from the home plate umpire because he's not sure if it's a strike or a ball. So he comes up throwing, and Darvish just kind of flailed up with his glove, and I'm not exactly sure about the contact. We'll get one more look at it. He throws up the glove, and it did hit the outside of his glove. Lucky for him. That could have been a lot worse.
Big time. Lance Kessner, fourth grader at Mary Queen of Peace here in St. Louis, dealing with some surgery yesterday and recovering at home now with his sisters, mom and dad, and watching the game. And Lance get down to the ballpark very soon. Well, Tyler O'Neill now with runners at first and second. Cardinals went 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position last night.
Dan, the folks you're thinking about, that just ties to me to the video we saw before the game of fan reaction to David Freese's moment. When you realize that there's people all over. I mean, not fans of baseball, fans of good moments, fans of Cardinals. I mean, you could be in any of those buckets, but those human moments that just give you thrills, and some people who are struggling need those.
O'Neill was trying to pick up home run number 28. First two have reached, and an 0-1 pitch inside. Opposition with runners in scoring position, hitting .272 against Darvish. Nolan Arenado on deck. This big crowd really has been into it from the first pitch tonight here at Busch. Fun atmosphere. Runners want to go. Pick off to second and back in.
Whoa, I don't know how he got back in time.
See, Goldie was at least a third of the way, almost half of the way from first to second. Tommy has to wait for that lead runner.
Tommy's been really good at reading the pitcher's mind and getting to third. And does he sneak the hand in? Yeah, he does. And he hangs on with dear life with both hands. But he was taken off. He's out of the picture. And Darvish, to his credit, waited just a tick longer. And that's what you're doing. You're trying to get a tell on the back of the head of the pitcher. And the minute you see, you go. But clearly he'd read the scouting report on Tommy Edman and Paul Goldschmidt together, getting jumps off of pitchers.
Padres with a shift on the left side of the infield. A count of 1 ball and 1 strike on Tyler O'Neill. One and two. All kinds of room on the right side of the infield, and a 1-2 pitch to Tyler O'Neill. On its way. Fouled away. The 1-2 off the plate. 2-2.
Boy, good patience there. Darvish was going for the chase. There are times that Tyler chases, but he's earned another pitch.
The 2-2 instead a check on Tommy Edman. The 2-2. Oh, what a cut there by Tyler O'Neill.
So when it was 1-2, you can afford to throw it 3 or 4 inches off the plate, see if you can get the chase. But when it's 2-2, you think, well, I've got to get it over the plate a little bit more, and sometimes you pay for it, and he almost did.
And O'Neill, we noted a lot of his home runs have come on breaking balls this year. This big crowd ready to explode here at Busch. The 2-2. Outside corner, struck him out. That was off the plate.
Caratini
number 4.
He's been getting some strikes for Darvish outside. Watch how he frames this. He pulls it right back over, and that's, I don't know how you don't see that. I mean, that's just almost a violent movement back over the outside corner. That's not a smooth framing job, but somehow it was smooth enough apparently to get the call. That was not a strike.
Arenado hitting .341 with runners in scoring position. One shy of the century mark in runs batted in. Goldschmidt, the runner at first base. Tommy Edman at second. Arenado popped out his first time. He's 5 for 14 against Darvish with a couple of home runs. The first pitch to Nolan Arenado. Off the plate, ball 1. It's been a terrific year. His first season in St. Louis. Among National League third basemen, leads in doubles, home runs, RBI, third in hits, and quite possibly on his way to his 9th Gold Glove. The 1-0. A ball and a strike. So he's getting that corner there.
Yeah, he is. And that one I don't mind. If it's an inch off, and you know, we've said this repeatedly, but the umpires have been told that you can give an inch off the plate either side. And you know, the strike zone that we see isn't always exactly what the strike zone is. There's a three-dimensional nature to the home plate and what a strike is, and all we can show is 2 dimensions. And umpires are told they can give that extra inch on both sides of the plate, but I think the one on O'Neill was more like 3 inches out.
The 1-1 pitch to Nolan Arenado. Runners stay put. They were dancing out there at second and again at first. It's kind of twofold. It can play with the pitcher, but also, you know, Jimmy's talked a lot about this. It can mess with the hitter too.
Some hitters don't like it. Some don't mind. Some don't notice. Even the old hit and run that no one does anymore, very seldom. Some hitters didn't like that either. The 1-1. Arenado taps it foul. And what it can do is it can split your vision. Again, you're trying to focus on a baseball coming 95 miles an hour, and you have less than a half a second to determine where the ball is going to be, what the spin is, and how do I get my bat there. And if you're looking out of it, you're trying to see something peripherally. complicates it.
A ball and 2 strikes on Nolan Arenado. The 1-2 pitch. What a rip.
Arenado does not give up any at-bats.
No.
We noticed that about him in spring training, and that's the first thing I noticed about him. I knew about his defense, and we've seen his numbers, but when you watch every single at-bat, it is
intense.
Intense 100%.
The 1-2. 2-2. The 2-2. Backed up again, and Arenado, another huge swing and fouled back.
I am so enjoying this crowd tonight.
Oh, it's great. From cardboard cutouts a year ago to a packed house reunion of the 2011 champions and a race for the second wild card spot. Doesn't get much better here in St. Louis. The 2-2 pitch again to Arenado. Nolan hits it down the left field line, but yanks it foul.
Dan, I've been scanning the crowd here for the last couple of minutes, and we've had some games where we've had good crowds, but I must say, even at home, a lot of crowds rooting for the other team, whether it's the Cubs in town or the Brewers. Of course, the Cardinals travel well. The fan base is all over every place we go, but this is mostly, and I mean primarily, a sea of red today.
Pitch number 8 of the at-bat for Nolan Arenado. The 2-2. The fans didn't like it. Nolan having a few words with the home plate umpire, and it's back-to-back strikeouts in 5 tonight for Yu Darvish. Took something off it, didn't he?
Took something off it, threw a slower curveball, and it just caught the top of the zone. 69 miles an hour. He just couldn't pull the trigger.
And he's 1 out away from pitching out of the jam.
It was a strike.
Molina called out on strikes first time up. Runners go, and Molina hits a high fly ball into deep left. Pham back in with room to make the catch. On the edge of the track, St. Louis strands a pair, 2-0. Benefit children in the community. Purchase a 50-50 raffle ticket during each Friday, Saturday, and Sunday home game. One lucky winner will win 50% of the pot each game. You must be 18 in the state of Missouri at the time of purchase. Visit cardinals.com/50-50 for tickets. Adam Wainwright pitching into the 5th. 2-0 Padres. Good opportunity. The Cardinals unable to cash in. Cold third strike on O'Neill and Arenado, and Yachty hit one to the track.
That was a long 4th inning, both the top half and the bottom half, and maybe good for Adam Wainwright to get to regroup to go back out for the 5th inning. He's been known to get a 2nd win and a 3rd and a 4th. Got a lot in his tank.
Top of the lineup and Tatis, and ball 1. Twice he has flied out to right. Tatis, Cronenworth, and Machado. And the 1-0 pitch. Beauty in there for a strike. 1-1. Mentioned the Dodgers beat the Reds today by the final of 5-1. If the Cardinals could win, they would put Cincinnati 2 back. The 1-1 pitch. Phillies, they lead the Mets 2-0. Philadelphia has won 3 in a row, and they are 2 back of Atlanta in the East, 2.5 back in the wild card.
2 divisions not decided yet, East and West.
And Atlanta had a heartbreaking loss last night against the Giants. It was Kevin Gausman who hit a sac fly to win it for the Giants, who tied it up down to their final strike with a home run. (3-1) of beauty. 3-2. He struck him out. He gets Tatis. And Adam Wainwright is 1 strikeout shy of 2,000.
Seven strikeouts in this game, and every one of them have been caught looking.
Tatis didn't like it one bit. Jace Tingler.
I'm not sure
arguing, and you can't argue balls and strikes.
I wonder if he's already been tossed, and that's why he came out. I mean, you can't come out there and ask about a ball and a strike. We'll see if he hands over his card to somebody.
That's going to be it for him. He's out.
Well, Skip Schumacher's in charge.
And a strike to Cronenworth.
Wide strike zone. That's why you've got so many called strike 3s here tonight.
And the 0-1. The 1-1 pitch. Jace Tingler, his 5th ejection this year, 7th of his career. Wainwright would join Bob Gibson as the only 2 with 2,000 strikeouts wearing a Cardinal uniform. The 2-1 pitch.
Oh.
It's been an interesting strike zone, to say the least.
Yeah, he missed that one.
And the 3-1. A base hit down into the corner. Cronenworth on his way to second base, and it's a 1-out double.
Third baseman,
Well, the missed pitch, the pitch before, made it a hitter's count. Now, we talk a lot about that too, Dan, about how much easier it is to hit when you're ahead in the count and how hard it is when you're not. Pitchers just carve you up.
Machado is 2 for 2. And there is strike one. Shallow right. Edman is there. Adam Frazier will be the batter. StubHub, a chance to get your tickets there. 100% verified tickets, easier than ever. Tickets available up until the first pitch.
Wainwright looking for career strikeout number 2,000. The man at the plate does not strike out very much.
And it's lined into the glove of Paul Goldschmidt. Midway through 5. Carlson, Sosa, Bader coming up.
Down 2-0, back with the 2011 championship team. Chris Carpenter, Lance Berkman, and Kyle Osh. Chris, I'm going to start with you. Adam Wainwright is on the hill tonight. He's a 40-year-old man pitching some of his best baseball that he has in his career. What are your thoughts on what he's been able to do?
I think it's great. Obviously shows that I always text him about being a pitch maker. It doesn't matter how hard you throw or the spin rates and all that other stuff. If you can execute pitches and make pitches, you can get guys out, and that's what he does.
He's been outstanding. Let's talk about the 2011 season. You had 31 homers that season. In Game 6, you also had a monster game, even though everyone talks about David Freese. Kyle Loesch says he said his sacrifice bunt was the key play in the game in that Game 6, and he doesn't get enough credit. I was just wondering your thought.
Well, it was certainly a key play in the game, no doubt about that. And it's not easy to go up there and bunt, and especially in a big spot like that where you absolutely have to get it down. So kudos to Kyle for coming through and laying down a nice bunt.
But he has a grievance. But you also had you had 3 for 4, scored 4 runs. You had the big game-tying single in extra innings. You had a huge game as well.
Yeah, they had the freezes landing out there. I was thinking they might put me a little patch of grass out there in shallow center and call it Berkman's Bloop, that area there. So, I mean, yeah, the great thing about that team is all 25 guys at some point during the playoffs had to do their job for us to win the World Series. And we had a great group of guys that were committed to each other, and I mean, it was a lot of fun to be a part of.
And Kyle Osh also won 14 games that season, if I'm not mistaken. What's it like to see these guys again and have a reunion and get to see them and then be with them and kind of relive it a little bit?
It's really good to get to see them and you, of course. That's the highlight.
I've been getting a lot of that, yeah.
Everybody was really looking forward to that first, and then but seriously getting to see these guys, haven't seen them in forever. It's like I feel like a lot of us have picked up right where we left off. Same old jokes. You got Gerald Laird running around, doing his routine, and it's just really a good time and really happy to see everybody and see what they've done in the last 10 years.
You were 4-0 in the postseason that year, 2-0 in the World Series. You guys went on a tremendous run down the stretch where no one believed in you guys. What was it about that ball club where you guys were able to catch fire at the right time?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, that's it. We caught fire at the right time. But, the adversity that we went through during the season, we just continued to grow and grow together. It was the best team that I've ever been a part of. I've shared many times we were on the road and we'd have groups of 10, 15 guys going out to dinner together. It didn't matter where you were from or if you were a rookie or a veteran. We were together. We cared. We cared about one another. We knew that we had a chance to do something special and we believed in it. So it was a great run for us.
Last thing for you, Lance. You guys are out there in the pickup trucks, driving around the ballpark, crowds going crazy. What was that like?
Well, I mean, it was, it kind of sent me back to the playoff run, and the fans here are always so gracious and great to us anytime we come back. And, I haven't really been on the field much in the ensuing 10 years, so it was just brought back a lot of good memories for sure. And I got to tell you, you haven't aged a day. You don't look a day over 70.
Can you say that again? Oh, all right. There it was. See, I fell for it again.
You can't be a day over 75, right? I mean, come on.
I'm 58 going on 75, okay? Chris, we got to wrap this up. Can you do me a favor and send it back to Danny Mac? Back to you, Danny.
Back to you, Danny.
Thank you, Carp. And Jimmy doing a great job. It's a battle over there, it sounds like.
It is.
Jimmy right in the thick of it, and love seeing these guys back at the ballpark. And Cardinals Hall of Famer Chris Carpenter, the great season that Berkman had in 11, and of course Kyle Loesch. Some interesting moments along the way, but Jimmy made a great point in the fact that he was really good in postseason play, and that's often overlooked.
A pitch maker, and I love what Carp said about Wainwright and why he's still able to do what he's doing, because he's a pitch maker. Now what the Cardinals need to do is they need to get a few hits into Berkman's bloop area.
I like that too,
which is beyond second base. I found that amusing.
And a 3-0 to Sosa, a strike.
You've mentioned it about other players, but I've heard Lance say it, and of course he's a Houston native and played in Houston, and nothing against the Astros or the comments more about St. Louis. He said, I was here a year and a half as a Cardinal, really 2 years, but I didn't do much the other year. I'm barely a Cardinal yet. He said when he comes here, he gets asked here to be at the ballpark more than any place else, and he believes that the Cardinal fans really embraced him, and he appreciates that. He appreciates his connection as a Cardinal, and of course he was Astro for a long time and played for other teams as well. But I think winning has a lot to do with that. But obviously his production was a big part of that Cardinal championship.
Larry Walker has said that many times too. 3-2 pitch with one out and nobody on to Edmundo Sosa. Got him. 6 strikeouts for Yu Darvish.
First strikeout in the game with somebody actually swinging the bat.
Unfortunately, I think you're seeing on both sides where some of the hitters are chasing balls that maybe they normally wouldn't. Strike zone has been wide. Sometimes it's gotten high. He's missed a few in the zone. Just one of those nights. And here is Bader, who was called out on strikes back in the third.
Well, if you're a pitcher, you use it.
Again, Adam Wainwright, 1 strikeout shy of 2,000 for his career. Strike 1 on Bader.
Wainwright has thrown 78 pitches. And if Bader can get on base, Wainwright will bat, and you won't have to worry about him being pinch hit for next inning.
Another aspect of what you're talking about here for sure.
National League style baseball, the decision will have to be made in the bottom half of the 6th inning, regardless of how Waino pitches in that inning. If Bader makes an out, and the guess would be it would be his last.
The 0-2 pitch. Trying to get that curveball over like he did with Arenado at 69 miles an hour. That one at 70. Yu Darvish began his career in 2012 with Texas. He's bounced around a bit latter stages of his career. And the 1-2 pitch got him. Couple of strikeouts in the inning, and 7 tonight for Yu Darvish. Pham Myers, Grisham coming up. You at 12:30 on Bally Sports Midwest. Jake Arrieta, Jay Happ in our Budweiser What's on Tap. Start number 28 for Happ. Arrieta began his season with the Cubs and now finds himself in San Diego. The high ERA above 7. Adam Wainwright getting loose for the 6th inning. 2-0 our score. Chris Carpenter, the Cardinals Hall of Famer. Now, he did win a Cy Young, but a lot of his great moments done and his best moments done in postseason play. He's signed about 1 million pictures of him diving at first, and this is the final out of that classic Game 5 against the Phillies.
This is the scream you were talking about.
Man, oh man. He pitched that final game, number 162. Pitched the classic Game 5 against Halladay and was terrific in the World Series.
Chris Carpenter, when he talks about pitching, I just think he's all over it. Yeah, and he's just
No
a great
doubt.
kind of a guru when it comes to understanding the art of pitching. Of course, Adam Wainwright, as a teammate slash pupil slash teacher himself, would agree with what Carp's philosophy is, and that is just to boil everything down to that pitch.
The 0-1 pitch. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Tommy Pham. Again, Adam Wainwright 1 strikeout shy of 2,000. Pham tonight 1 for 2 with an RBI single. 1-2. Can he get it here in front of the home crowd? The 1-2 pitch. And Pham lifts a fly ball into right. Over to get it. Dylan Carlson in foul territory. The BJC Healthcare difference maker, Tommy Edman, and it's his defense. That was in the first, and then robbing Will Myers right after that. What a play here. The defense of Tommy Edman. And the first pitch is strike 2. Myers 0 for 2 tonight.
So Carpenter's thought process is that pitch is over. You can't think about that pitch. What about this pitch? Not next pitch, not next inning, not tomorrow, not next week. This pitch. And if you can get to that level of focus as a pitcher and focus that way for 100 of them, that's what starting pitching's all about.
The ability to adjust.
No doubt.
And the 1-1 is pulled down the left field line and foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Will Myers.
So you're adjusting, yes. You've thought through how is he going to pitch every particular batter, but the focus has to be on the execution of the pitch, one after another.
The 1-2 pitch. Foul back. The 1-2 pitch. At times tonight that has been a strike. 2-2 the count. As Wainwright slowly receives the ball back from Yachty and walks back to the mound. The 2-2. Curveball yanked foul.
Bob Gibson's 2000th career strikeout was
Roberto
against
Clemente.
a player named Roberto Clemente. Who will Adam Wainwright's be?
Finished with 3,117, and now Wainwright trying to join him in the 2,000 strikeout club. The 2-2 pitch. On the ground to short. Sosa 2 away. And in that game, Clemente got Gibson in the 8th with a 3-run homer. 3-0 the final.
I believe Clemente's the one that hit the line drive off of Bob Gibson's leg also.
Yes. And then he came back to pitch and still stayed in that game, and then worked at home with a worker here in St. Louis to keep his arm fresh. And still dominated when he came back. 2 outs and nobody on, and strike 1 on Trent Grisham. Wainwright has struck out 2 tonight. Grisham looking, that was in the 4th, and got Tatis looking in the 5th.
And probably his last batter.
Pitch count at 90, and he's due up first, and the Cardinals down by 2 runs. And an 0-1 pitch to Grisham, taken high.
Probably his last batter, but there's no stirring in the Cardinal bullpen.
Right. The 1-1 curveball doesn't get the call, just off the plate. 2-1, and Wainwright steps away. It's been a frustrating strike zone at times for him. And for the hitters. The 2-1 on the ground, right side. Tommy Edman, and again Adam Wainwright is through 6 innings. Does he continue? He's due up first when we come back. It's presented by authority of the Cardinals, not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals with just 1 hit tonight as we move to the home half of the 6th and trailing 2-0. And Matt Carpenter will pinch hit for Adam Wainwright. So Wainwright again, 6 innings, 7 hits, gave up a pair of runs. And Carpenter, one of the last remaining players from 2011 that's still active in baseball. Had a small role on that team as he was called up in 11. Picked up his first hit against Kerry Wood. And a shift on the right side, and the first pitch to Carp. Taken for a strike.
Wainwright was good in this game. You go 6 innings, give up 2 runs. That's a quality start, and typically the Cardinals get him good run support, but not yet against Darvish, and I say yet. Boy, I'd like to see Matt Carpenter break out. He is 0 for his last 30.
Carpenter with 5 hits since the All-Star game. Crowd tonight of 40,626. 40626. Carpenter against Darvish is 5 for 13. Couple of doubles, a home run. Mixed in a walk. The 2-1 pitch. And Carpenter drives it out to deep right center. One hopper off the wall. Matt Carpenter on his way to second base. Standing up. Pinch hit double. Matt Carpenter.
So great for Matt Carpenter to do that with the 2011 Cardinals here in town. And wouldn't it be something if the Cardinals could get Wainwright off the hook, even more so get him a victory? Good stroke by Carp. He got that one right on the nose. He's been hitting into a little bit of tough luck here in the last week, but no way Grisham could catch that one.
Career double number 300 for Matt Carpenter. Just acknowledged on the video board. First hit since August 7th. And now it's Tommy Edman. 300 doubles for Matt Carpenter. And that is outside. Matt Carpenter, one of 13 in the history of this franchise with 300 doubles. Not too shabby. The 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. The crowd kind of back into it again.
Not a lot of base runners for the Cardinals in this game, yet with a Carpenter pinch hit, we're going to have a few moments here with the tying run at the plate.
Stan the man with 725 doubles to lead the St. Louis Cardinals. A 2-0 pitch here to Tommy Edman. Edman tonight fly to left and a base hit to right. Left stranded back in the 4th. Cardinals trying to come back and win this game. If they would do that, they would go to a season high 9 games above the 500 mark. The 2-1. 3-1.
Tommy was a little over anxious with the 2-0 pitch. He'll want to guard against that on the 3-1 pitch, but the count in his favor again.
The 3-1 pitch. Edman lines it off the glove of Tatis. First and second, nobody out.
Well, a lot could have happened on that play. It could have gone over the head of Tatis, and he could have caught it. But neither one of those things happened. He reached the glove up and couldn't come up with it. That should be a hit for Tommy Edman. And now it puts the go-ahead run at the plate.
It is scored a base hit. Runners at first and second, nobody out. And here comes Goldie. And a strike on the outside corner. Again, at times it has been a strike, other times it has not. Goldschmidt is flied to right. He has walked. Hitting .320 with runners in scoring position. The 0-1. Tied him up, 0-2. O'Neill on deck, and then Nolan Arenado.
The table is set for the crowd to go crazy.
They're ready to.
Just need a big hit.
The 0-2 struck him out. Might have been off the plate with the Bally box, but ruled a strikeout, number 8 tonight for Yu Darvish. Takes the bat right out of the hands of Paul Goldschmidt. O'Neill had words with home plate umpire Phil Cuzzi back in the 4th, called out on strikes and is grounded out to short. Cardinals 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position tonight. And the first pitch to O'Neill. The 1-0 pitch. .83 pitches tonight for Darvish. Pierce Johnson, a right-hander, throwing in the Padres bullpen. One ball, one strike. 1-2 the count. Cardinals got the first 2 runners on back in the 4th. Couldn't do anything with it. This inning, Carpenter pinch hitting for Wainwright. Doubles into the gap in right center. Tommy Edman, a base hit, strikeout of Goldie. And now the 1-2 to Tyler O'Neill. Wow. It's 9 strikeouts for Darvish, and both sides not happy one bit, and I don't blame them with Phil Cuzzi.
Well, the pitchers are happy, and again, the almost the awkward framing job by Caratini. I don't know how he's getting away with that, frankly. And Cuzzi has been giving both sides of the plate an extra inch. The ones that are 3 or 4 inches off, that's a big problem. But right now, at this point of the game, you've got to protect. It's not going to change.
Nolan Arenado 0 for 2 tonight. Strike 1. Darvish has 4-10 strikeout games this year. 1 shy of 10 tonight. Of the 9 tonight, 7 have been looking.
The problem with that kind of zone is you feel the umpire has too much control of the game.
No question. The 0-1. Arenado grounds it softly to short. Tatis makes the play. Cardinals strand a pair. They have left 4 on tonight. We move to the 7th. 2-0 San Diego.
San Diego 2-0. Dakota Hudson back with the Cardinals, though he's yet to be activated. He'll throw a bullpen over the next day or two before the Cards decide what's next for him. Hudson says he feels strong and he's ready to go. He told me this is the dream, to be here and ready for the postseason. It's been a long year just to get to a point where this is even possible. Meantime, the other guy on your screen, Jack Flaherty, threw another bullpen today, about 30 pitches. This time he mixed in breaking balls as well. Danny Dak is back, and Jack is getting closer.
All right, thank you, Jimmy. And now it's Cody Whitley in our Chevy called to the pen. Whitley will get 8, 9, and 1 of the Padres in relief of Adam Wainwright, who went 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, struck out 2, and 1 shy of 2,000. His next start will be against Milwaukee Thursday. And the first pitch swung on and missed by Victor Caratini. Darvish, nor a pinch hitter, is at the on-deck circle. Cardinals trailing 2-0 here in the top of the 7th.
Cody Whitley, Dan, has been pitching the way we saw him in spring training of 2 years ago, which is a long time ago. Feels like a lot has happened since then. Of course it has. But he was as good as anybody and really opened a lot of eyes. And I think he had a few bumps in the road at the big league level, maybe overthrowing a little bit, and lost his first things first of throwing strikes, which he preaches to himself and normally does, but he was maybe expanding the zone a little bit too much. But he found himself back in AAA.
Caratini is 1 for 2, 2 balls and 1 strike. And a fly ball into right field, going back. Carlson, it's off the wall, plays it perfectly. Here's his throw into second. He got him. Oh, what a throw on a fly. Dylan Carlson with a strike to second. The Budweiser play of the game, and a strike from Dylan Carlson and another outfield assist.
I believe that's his 8th, Dan, and he plays this perfectly. And I love the way he times up his throw, too. He makes sure he's got a good grip, and he throws a strike right on the money. There he is, picking up the target. There's the target. There's the tag. Wow.
It's a pick-me-up for the Cardinals and Whitley, and now it's Darvish. So the 8th outfield assist, Dylan Carlson.
Cardinals outfield defense has been phenomenal. Of course, so's the infield, but I just love what the young guys in the outfield have been doing.
It's been on display here tonight. Tommy Edman, a couple of fabulous plays to his left, another one to his right. And that outfield assist by Dylan Carlson, 3rd in the National League, first among rookies in the NL with 8 outfield assists. And a strikeout for Whitley, 2 away here in the top of the 7th. Discounted Cardinals tickets, 8 or more gallons of gas at a participating station using the My Phillips 66 app and get up to 50% off of Cardinal tickets. And for more information, visit cardinals.com/Phillips66. And a ground ball. Sosa. Tough play, and throws it away off the screen of the dugout, and that'll be a base hit for Tatis.
Boy, you love the effort, don't you?
If the throw is online,
it might have been close.
He would have gotten him.
But it's, of course, hard to throw off of one knee. Just a bit wide. No umpire was hit with that last throw, so there's a positive. Very similar play when the umpire in New York, Junior Valentine, was hit by a Sosa throw.
There's Cronenworth, and he looks at his strike. Be interesting, Ricky, as Jimmy reported that Dakota Hudson close to returning back in the ballpark tonight. But the upcoming road trip, you've got 8 games, 4 with Milwaukee, and then 4 in 3 days with the Cubs. Doubleheader with Chicago on a makeup game, and that's strike 2. So we'll see how the Cardinals want to line up and stack up their pitching.
Nice that they have a lot of options. There is a lot of ways you can go with that. Milwaukee won't be easy. And after this series, we pointed it out last night, Dan, when the Padres leave St. Louis, the Cardinals will have 2 teams left. 7 games against Milwaukee and 7 games against the Cubs.
0-2 pitch on the ground to Arenado. Time to stretch on this Saturday night. Coming up, Molina, Carlson, Sosa. All important game. Game 2 of this series. Padres lead it 2-0. Baseball is brought to you by BJC Healthcare, the world's best medicine made better. And by Budweiser, this Bud's for you. Yu Darvish and the Padres leading 2-0. He's allowed just 3 hits. He has struck out 9. And a start that they desperately needed him to be the Yu Darvish of a year ago.
What a turn, really, from where he's been. We talked about his numbers, his last 11 starts, 1-8. Crazy high ERA, but he's back to his early season form.
Yachty on the first pitch, foul down the left field line. Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Molina, Carlson, Sosa. The 0-1. Chopped left side. Machado. 1 away. October 2nd, that's a Saturday. 30,000 fans ages 16 and older take home their very own bobblehead of Cardinals first baseman Paul Goldschmidt. Also includes a photo frame connected to the base. That's courtesy of Purina. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Carlson with the outfield assist moments ago. At the plate tonight, 0 for 2. He's shown a little bit of everything in this series. A home run from both sides of the plate, a grand slam, and an outfield assist.
Confidence growing for him.
This season hitting .299 at home. Big shift right side of the infield, and the 1-0 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike.
So several former Cardinals here from 2011. We had several Cardinals watching our broadcast or telecast last night. Terry Pendleton and Jose Oquendo. Tonight it's Dave LaPointe, who just texted me. He was part of the '82 Cardinal Championship, a big part of it as a rookie. He's going to be playing in the Ozzie Smith Gala Golf Tournament in Jeff City, and that's part of PGAReach.org. And Dave's going to play with a lot of former Cardinal teammates there, so you might want to check that out. But always good to hear from former Cardinals during the game, but also great to see him at the game.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Dylan Carlson. The offense so far has been quiet. The 1-2 pitch. Out of play. The Padres were in the top 3, top 4 first half of the season in pitching, and now in the bottom 7. So it's not an understatement to say how badly they needed to get a start like this tonight. The 1-2 pitch. Carlson slices one into left center, and the catch made by Grisham. They also have the MLB saves leader in the back end, Mark Melanson. Well, we have a moment. Quick word from Great Southern Bank.
While you're focused on what really matters, we're focused on making your journey a little easier. Great Southern Bank, rated the #1 bank in America by our customers, according to Forbes.
Pitch count at 94 for Darvish.
So you say
32. The Padres, Ricky, have won just 10.
Yeah, so you say the Padres needed Darvish tonight, but I think his start tonight could even, and I think that's what you're alluding to, really could be bigger than that. It could give them confidence that, boy, we can see some light getting through this funk that we're in, to have Darvish being back to his normal self. So I think this is been a huge moment for the Padres. Now, it's not over yet, but it's certainly given them some hope.
2 outs and nobody on, and that pitch taken for a ball. Sosa tonight is 0 for 2. Grounded to Machado at third and struck out. 9 strikeouts tonight for Yu Darvish. And the 1-0 pitch. Tatis to his left and makes a play. Cardinals go 1-2-3. We head to the 8th, and it's 2-0. Season played this ball perfectly. The first out in the top of the 7th off the bat of Victor Caratini. Statcast powered by Google Cloud.
Plays the carom perfectly. 190 feet on the money.
New pitcher in is Justin Miller. Wainwright went 6, gave up 7 hits, 2 runs. Whitley a scoreless 7th inning, and now Justin Miller in our Chevy called to the pen.
Miller, one of the relievers that was acquired because he had a history of throwing strikes. He's had a couple of bad games at the big league level that have cost him ERA wise, and also had an injury he was dealing with, and we weren't sure whether we'd seen the last of him or not this year because of that injury. But he's vying to become another right-hander that Mike Schilt can count on, and you never have too many of them.
Emilio Pagan, right-hander, throwing in the Padres bullpen as Machado swings and misses. Nothing in 2. Pagan, by the way, has allowed 12 home runs, second most among all National League relievers. Keep that in mind. Well, I'd be tempted to have Darvish go out for one more. The 0-2. Would you, or is this enough?
Yeah. Well, you know, a lot depends on how Darvish is feeling, and not easy to determine that unless we all have the information about his last side session and how he felt after his last outing. All those things go into play. And my guess is if he was struggling the way he was in those last outings, normally your arm hurts more when you struggle because you're not in the right spot. And they seem to go together, sore arms and bad performance. But he certainly has not had a bad performance in this game.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Machado. Face to face, head to head with Miller, 0 for 3. And the 2-2. Popped up and foul and out of play. The 2-2 and a ground ball to short. Picked up by Sosa in the first out. Kickoff our coverage of Cardinals baseball tomorrow. Cardinals insider Ted Simmons, Larry Walker, Inter Cooperstown sculptor Harry Weber discusses the new Ted Simmons statue, and Lee Smith shares his stories from his Cardinals career. Cardinals insider tomorrow at noon. Then our pregame show will come your way at 12:30. 1 out here in the top of the 8th, and Frazier 1 for 3 tonight. One out, nobody on, and the first pitch taken for his strike. Cardinals will have Bader. Then it'll be a pinch hitter and Tommy Edman. Before this one is through, you have to go through Goldschmidt, O'Neill, and Arenado.
Cardinals have had late inning magic lately.
0-2.
I think we should send up John Jay, Daniel Descalzo, and Lance Berkman. Maybe get Loesch to bunt.
Why not? Anything can happen, as we saw. And an 0-2 pitch to Adam Frazier. Phillies, top of the 7th, lead the Mets 3-1. And again, the Phillies trying to make it 4 wins in a row and stay 2.5 back of the Cardinals, if not gain a game. Bryce Harper, by the way, leads the league in extra base hits. He's got 70. Last Philly to do that was Juan Samuel. That's going back a ways. He's got a 13-game hitting streak, 7 home runs in the last 13 games. He just might be your MVP of the National League. He has been on a tear. The 1-2 pitch. And another foul ball. A lot of those races, Ricky, could be decided by what you do from this game moving forward in the final couple of weeks.
Well, the people that vote on it, the writers who vote on it, they're going to remember the last thing they saw. And whoever's hot in the last couple of weeks is going to be more on the forefront of their mind. And of course, the numbers don't lie. And if you've been able to do it all season long, you deserve it anyway. But I agree. I think some of the races are so close right now. They're a little hard to handicap.
Into center, backing up Bader a step or two, and he'll make the catch. Nissan drives of the game. We had 3 consecutive base hits in the 4th off of Adam Wainwright. And with 2 on, Tommy Pham got the Padres on the board. The one that stings, the 8th place hitter Victor Caratini with 2 outs. Found a hole. That brought in a run, and that made it 2-0. The Nissan drives of the game, the difference so far. Pham is 1 for 3. and lifts a fly ball into right field. Dylan Carlson. And a 1-2-3 for Justin Miller. Bader, a pinch hitter. Edman coming up. He's 0-3-0 for St. Louis. Double switch as Jake Marisnick, very good defensive player, takes over in left field. Tommy Pham is out. And on the mound, Emilio Pagan. At the final out in the 8th inning Thursday, which is a bullpen game at San Francisco for the Padres. Night before, he walked a pair but managed to get out of that jam. It was his 18th hold of the year. Tops for the Padres coming out of their pen. And those 2 walks matched his total of walks surrendered across his previous 22 appearances. So Pagan gets the 8th inning. The Cardinals down by 2 have Bader, Lars Nootbaar on deck, and then Tommy Edman. So they're going to send a couple of lefties up there to face Pagan after Bader.
On the 14th of May, and it was one of the games the Cardinals lost to San Diego. They lost all 3 of them in San Diego. But Pagan came on and he hit Edmundo Sosa with a pitch and then gave up a home run to Tyler O'Neill.
He's given up his fair share this year. 3 home runs here in this month alone, 12 overall. Bader 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. First pitch to him, fouled back in a good cut. So Yu Darvish, 7 strong innings for the Padres tonight. Strikes out 9. Bader out to left, and 1 hopper off the wall. The Cardinals again will bring the tying run to the plate. A leadoff double, Harrison Bader. Nootbaar in the recent road trip, a huge catch to rob Pete Alonso of a 3-run homer. However, struggling a bit right now at the plate. He could change that with 1 swing.
Matt Carpenter had an 0 for that he stopped. Now it's Nootbaar's turn.
Carpenter's was 0 for 31 and then snapped it with a double, his 300th of his career. The first pitch taken for a ball, down and in. So Nootbaar hitless in his last 17 with a walk and 9 strikeouts. The Cardinals at the first 2 reach in the 4th, could not score. Again in the 6th, could not score. Leadoff double by Bader. The 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes.
No doubt the first time that Nootbaar has ever heard 40,000 people say his name.
This crowd has been into it from the first pitch. The 2-0. Nootbaar with a fly ball into center. Bader back to the bag at second. He'll tag up. The throw into third, and he is safe as the ball gets away. A chancy play there by Bader, but winds up at third.
That's a pretty good throw by Grisham. Bader tested him, almost lost. Makes it a productive out for Nootbaar. Good positioning by Grisham. Good strong throw. And it may have hit Bader.
I'll tell you what, Rick, if it didn't, he might be out. Oh, yeah, it was just a short hop. He didn't get it. He picks that cleanly. He's probably out. Chancy play. And the Padres up by 2. Runner at third. Playing the infield initially and now backing up.
Yeah, you got to back up with a 2-0 lead.
So 1 out. Tommy Edman. And ball 1. TJ McFarland throwing with Andrew Miller in the St. Louis bullpen. Edman a base hit to right, then a liner off the glove of Tatis. Couple of hits tonight, 2 for 3. Edman. Fly ball, plenty deep to score Harrison Bader. This will cut the lead to 2-1. RBI number 49 for Tommy Edman. And it gets a little more interesting.
You bet it does. If the Cardinals bullpen can keep San Diego at bay, the Cardinals will have the tying run at the plate for the rest of the game. And that's a huge difference. You can play for a run, and Bader essentially just manufactured a run on his own.
Giovanni Gallegos joins McFarland now in the Cardinal bullpen. Here's Goldschmidt. He is flied to right. He is walked and struck out. A ball and a strike. Goldie 26 home runs this year. The 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Big gap in left center. A count of 2 balls, 1 strike on Paul Goldschmidt. Up and in, 3-1.
Hitters count. Advantage Goldschmidt. Pick out a spot where you can drive the ball, look in that area, and let it rip.
The 3-1 pitch. The tying run is aboard. Potential go-ahead run will come to the plate. A 2-out walk. And by the way, the change for the Padres, Marisnick went in for Pham, and it's strictly about defense for Skip Schumacher, so he goes in that spot in the lineup. 5th spot, the pitcher goes into the pitcher's spot, which is in this case 4-way. Last night, Tyler O'Neill with home run number 27, and it got out in a hurry. As Ricky mentioned, these two have faced each other. It was in San Diego, and O'Neill took him deep. First pitch to him. O'Neill has had issues with the strike zone all night long. He isn't the only one. Phil Cuzzy, to the point that Jace Tingler argued balls and strikes and was ejected in this game, the manager of the Padres. Twice he has been called out on pitches on the outside corner and off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Arenado on deck.
And Tingler's been thrown out of 5 games this year, 3 of those times by this particular crew. So I'm going to say some history there.
Shift on the left side of the infield. Outfield very deep. Goldschmidt, the runner at first, the tying run. And the 1-1 pitch to O'Neill. 2 balls and 1 strike. 7th inning or later, 9 home runs hit by Tyler O'Neill. And he had a mammoth shot recently at Citi Field in the 8th to put St. Louis on top. And this crowd ready to go on this Saturday night.
Outfield is deep. Goldie, a good runner, really good base runner at first. A double might score him.
The 2-1. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes on Tyler O'Neill. The night in which we celebrate the 2011 team that had so many memorable moments down the stretch. Cardinals would love to add another here in 21. The 2-2. O'Neill with the drive out to left. It is gone. He did it. It's a 2-run shot. Tyler O'Neill. The Redbirds on top here in the 8th.
What a great moment. The crowd has been waiting for this, Danny. And Tyler delivered. Terrific.
Arenado pops it up. Right side. And caught. This place has exploded on a Saturday night here in St. Louis. Tyler O'Neill. Just enough. Into the bullpen. St. Louis on top as we head to the 9th. In the bottom of the 8th, highlighted by number 28 off the bat of Tyler O'Neill.
Asking for it to get up, Danny. He got his wish. And so did the fans. And how about the reaction when he was going out in between innings to begin this inning to left field? Everybody standing and cheering for Tyler O'Neill. That is just a terrific moment. A clutch big fly, and you talked right before he did it about how he's been good with the home runs late. You can add one more.
Now it's Giovanni Gallegos and the Chevy called to the pen. We move to the 9th. Myers, Grisham, Caratini. Hosmer is still on the bench. Profar, the switch hitter. Nola and Kim. It's as electric as it's been in 2 years in this building.
And something tells me not for the last time.
The first pitch to Myers. Strike one. Shift on the left side of the infield. Myers is 0 for 3 tonight. The 0-1. Check swing. You see the shift where Tommy Edman made a backhanded play right there. Myers' first time up. And the 1-1 pitch. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. The 2-2. Ground ball. Left side. Sosa. One away. While we have a moment, quick word from Ryan Kelly.
The only thing faster than the Supersonic golf cart is the 21-day closing guarantee. Only available at thehomeloanexpert.com.
Trent Grisham hitless tonight. Fly to center, struck out looking and grounded out to second. When San Diego has had the lead after 7 innings this year, 61-2. Shift on the right side.
So much energy in this place.
And ball one. The Padres, if they cannot come back, it would be their 15th road loss since the 11th of August. But still 2 outs to go. One ball, one strike.
Tyler O'Neill overcoming an 0 for 3 night with 2 strikeouts. He was angry the last time. I'm glad he didn't get thrown out.
You make a great point because the bench was imploring him, screaming at him not to get thrown out, come back to the dugout. We're all thankful he did. The 1-1. 1-2. Victor Caratini on deck. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Busch Stadium is rocking tonight. The 1-2. Fly ball. O'Neill. 2 away. Off the bench, Eric Hosmer. And the final hope for San Diego. Trying to go to 9 games above 500 and a 7th straight win, 1 out away. First pitch to Hosmer. Strike 1. $40,626. And it's been a treat tonight. The 0-1. Nothing in 2. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 7 straight. 9 above 500. In a night in which we celebrate the magical run of 2011. There's some magic left in 2021.
The 2011 highlight video that we saw before the game ended with the words pride, passion, perseverance. The Cardinal players and their fan base exhibited all 3 of those words here tonight.
Tyler O'Neill, the heroics late. Busch Stadium rocking. Is this fun or what? The Cardinals will look for a sweep tomorrow afternoon. They come back late. Dramatics. Man, is this fun. 3-2 St. Louis.